But let's talk about the Supreme Court. Ed, as we mentioned, Judge Amy Coney Barrett visited the White House for the second time this week. And I want to play a clip from an interview that I did with her back in 2016 along with Anne Marie Green. This was in the wake of Justice Antonin Scalia's death. Let's take a listen.
Kennedy is a moderate Republican, and he replaced a moderate Republican, Powell. We're talking about Justice Scalia, the staunchest conservative on the court, and we're talking about him being replaced by someone who could dramatically flip the balance of power on the court. It's not a lateral move. And finally, the reality is we live in a different time. Confirmation hearings have gotten far more contentious. And so I just don't think we live in the same kind of time. So I think in some, the president has the power to nominate and the Senate has the power to act or not, and I don't think either one of them can claim that there's a rule governing one way or the other.
So to be clear, Barrett, for her part, did not claim there should be a rule applied to this like other Republicans did. But Ed, how should we expect comments like this to come back around if she is in fact the nominee?
Well, first of all, I know that we're working on putting that entire interview, or at least the entire answer and the broader context of it, on our website as we speak, because we only discovered this just a little while ago. And so I would encourage people to find that on our website later today and to watch it in full. What she was giving was essentially a very neutral analysis of the time, which was that, look, previous appointments have come around election times where, a conservative is replacing a conservative. In 2016, of course, Scalia died, and Barack Obama was a Democrat, and he wasn't going to appoint somebody like Scalia, and there was a chance for a wholesale shift in the ideological balance of the court, as there is right now, to at least expand the conservative majority. And, she's just saying, look, there's no written rules on what goes on here, despite what Mitch McConnell and others might tell you. And so if a president wants to nominate somebody, the Constitution lets him do that. There's no timetable set on that. And if the Senate wants to hold a vote on it, they can. If they don't want to, that's also fine, because it isn't laid out in the Constitution. I think the point she made then that I think others could be making now is, look, if people have issues with this, holding a confirmation vote, nominating somebody in an election year, Congress is totally within its rights to at least try passing a law that sets a timetable and says you can't do it X days before an election or Y days after, and just see if that holds up in court. All of this otherwise is just sort of political and academic, bloviating, and the reality is, as she said, if you look at the Constitution, presidents can nominate justices, Senate gives their advice and consent, and there's nothing in there about when, who, or how.
Right.
In terms of the timing, I should make clear. In terms of the timing, there's nothing regarding what they can,
what they do.
Right.